figured we were on a roll, we might as well keep going. Okay, so we're gonna go on to discussion items. We moved MGR to executive session, which we already covered. Jamie is here from Mackin, Jamie Croton's here from Mackin for the, are you gonna talk about the 13th Street, or are you just here for the CCTV?
I just came for the CCTV, but Donnie gave you,
Yeah.
I know he had looked at it.
We have a landslide on 13th Street.
Yeah, and, okay, this is pretty much what we talked about. He's recommending some drilling and a report prior to doing any, which makes sense. You don't know what's there, so it's better to be better safe than sorry. And he suggests adding a stop signs and one-lane road ahead signs and monitor the area. And I think what we have to be very conscious of, obviously we're not going to do anything right now, but we do have to have the street department monitor it.
They are, Jamie.
Yeah.
Every
Because,
day they are there.
You know, it's going to get cold again before we're done. We're not done with winter. We're getting a lot of water, a lot of rain right now. You know, we get another freeze and thaw. That's going to put it in jeopardy
They
again. So,
are,
Yeah,
TJ
it
is up there.
and what I would suggest, if he notices anything different, call Donnie right away and have him come out.
I will do
I know he
that.
took some photographs, so he's documenting what's, you know, what's there. So, but I would definitely pay close attention to it.
Yes.
And the estimate there is, you know, that's a general estimate. If we put it out, make some calls, we can probably do better than that, but for the drilling. But it's one of those situations, unfortunately, that will only get worse, it won't get any better. So we just have to pay attention to it.
And I will
I'm there
mention
every
to
day.
TJ that,
Yep.
anything he feels has changed drastically, or changed at all, that he will.
Yeah, he's got a good
call.
handle on it, he knows
Right, oh,
that.
absolutely, he's
So
a great
we'll,
guy.
yeah, just have him
He
reach
does
out if
his
he needs
job
us.
excellently,
Yep.
as does the street crew.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks, Jen.
We might as well just keep going.
Okay, well, we did, we finally got our LSA funding for,
Yes.
good?
Yeah, that's all I'm on. Yeah, you're good, good.
All right, we finally got our LSA funding for phase 1 of the CCTV inspection on the borough's sewer system. As you all know, we have a lot of sewer backups in basements, we have a lot of flooding, we have a lot of manholes that are surcharging. So what we want to do is get an assessment of the system, the condition assessment of the system. And I was talking to Sean before the meeting started. We want to share with them with that too, because they have some skin in the game there as well. Because everything that's coming down there is going to them. So I'll make sure Sean and I go back a ways. So I'll make sure that we keep that communication open. Anyway, so we did get phase 1. The funding is in. We put it out for bid. We got 2 bids, Insight Pipe Contracting and Robinson Pipe Cleaning. As you know, we have $75,000 in LSA money to do the project. So our low bid, we got a really good low bid at $68,470. The other bid, Robinson Pipe, was $85,600. So we actually have a little bit of play. We can get a few more feet than what we had anticipated originally. So that's a really good bid. We did the bid tab. Everything's in order. So at this point, we would recommend that the borough award the contract to Insight Pipe Contracting at $68,470.
Thank you, Mr. Croton.
You're very welcome.
Anybody have any questions for him about this? All right, accessible parking application at 306 Meadow. Did anybody go look at this, Roberta?
Yeah, TJ did, he said that, it's.
That's okay.
Next one, cross off.
Next one, cross off. And the next one is executive
Yeah,
session.
executive.
Next up is Nancy with an update on the Veterans Day flag, or the Veterans flags.
Yes, Mr. Slasky asked me to look into that as Debbie Buck had done it, and she is no longer here. I did look into it. The conversation that was originally reported that took place between the borough and the chamber. The chamber states that the conversation did not go the way it was interpreted, and they are willing to help raise money through the business district, but they were not obligated, they did not feel they in any manner indicated that they would be obligated to pay half of the flags needed. So that is what they came back to me. We have 60 flags, correct, Roberta?
Yes.
And we are getting 30. I want to thank the Charleroi Fire Department. They are donating 30 flags. That puts us at about 90. We need approximately 147 for the parade route. So we have contacted Bud Cook, Camera Bartolotta, and I don't believe we've gotten responses yet. Roberta, correct?
No, Stacy, we haven't received anything back from Cook, right?
Okay, the county is looking into the prices they can get and a possible donation to us. I'm in contact with their Veterans Affairs liaison, director actual. And I would like to say also, I did ask Walmart for a donation. There's a form to be filled out. And nobody on council has a problem, I'll ask Roberta to fill this form out so that we can get a donation from Walmart. Does anybody have a problem?
What's the donation for?
To the, well, it would be for flags.
Whenever I've asked for donations.
Yeah, they usually just give
before.
gift cards.
Yeah, they
Well,
usually
then
do.
we
Nancy.
buy them.
Not to interrupt, but Lowe's may donate flags.
Well, that's my next stop, because
Yeah,
we did
okay.
talk about that.
Because
Thank you.
they've done that in the past. They did it
Okay.
in a community, I don't want to say what, because I'm not sure which one, but I know they do that.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten on that side of the plaza yet, but thank you. Yeah,
Go to
we
that
did
side
talk
of the river,
about it.
Nancy.
Walmart will usually give you a $25
Gift
gift.
cards, right.
Well, that's 2 flags.
Yeah.
And I work on the Veterans Museum Committee, and we're considering a tag day up at Walmart. And so I don't know, would the borough want me to make that a joint thing with, would you want me to have a joint situation where we have, we work with the Veterans Museum Committee and the Flag Committee? You know, I don't know. I don't know how anybody feels about that. We're gonna do it regardless, but I just thought since I'm gonna be there, it's up to you. Just think about it, we got plenty of time, something to think about. I did want to say that Commander Patera of the Post 22 has started his committee. As a matter of fact, their second meeting is tonight, and at this time, he's not contemplating a community volunteer committee, which we usually do have. So I thought it would be nice to let them know that we are interested in the parade, and I would like to have council's permission to have Roberta make up a letter and invite them to either this next council meeting or next month. Does anybody have a problem with that? Anybody? Joe? No? Betty? No. Okay, Roberta, would you do that, please, then?
Well, only if you can come tell me what you want me to do.
I will. And what's next? Okay, the street crew, we started, we got a new form from the insurance company, our insurance company. So we're going to have the street crew guys fill these out in case of an accident. We also have a procedure written from that. I believe that's in your packet. We've kind of upgraded a few steps of what's normally done. And also we have to keep up with inspections and make sure we're current on that. We have this form, Roberta made it up. They put in the description of the vehicle, the VIN number, and the inspection date. So we'll have that right at our fingertips on that. I we had a vehicle that blew up, so we do need another vehicle to replace that one. Dorf has requested a four-wheel drive, one-ton jump truck, new or used. So this is what he came up with. Do I need to pass this around?
No, we've been looking to see if we can find anything that's,
The price of this one is $17,500 and it's used, and he has the description on here. So would we need that for next week to put on the agenda?
I mean, they need to know that they only have $30,000 and they need a tractor too. So I'm gonna say no, I'm gonna say wait. They need to, I mean, they're gonna look around. I mean, I'm sure he was giving you that to give you some insight of how much it's gonna cost. He's not saying anything that that's the one that they want. So I think that they need to look around and see what they can get.
That's
And then
fine.
when they're ready and they come to us and say, this is what we have, this is what we want, then we'll put it on the agenda.
All right, that's fine. Let me see, anything else? Nope.
Not for you.
That's for me. I'm done in that part.
Are you done?
I'm done in that part.
But you don't have to vote on that procedure stuff, do you? It's just that they need to, or, okay.
No,
No? So we're good with that, take that off the agenda?
you can work it
Okay, the general code costs, I sent in the ordinances that need to be updated into our general code. And this is what they sent back to us. A cost between $665 to $795. That includes the shipping and handling. And that'll update our code book, and they'll send out new papers for me to put in our code. So I just need to have that on the agenda so that we can approve it, and I can send that back to them.
Berger, not to ask us,
Pardon me?
not to ask us, but I might, I just thought of it. Would this also update our E-code as well?
Our website?
On the E-code app?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it covers paper and,
Right.
that's great.
Yeah.
I don't like carrying paper around, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that would update everything.
So what we have now is executive session on two separate matters, correct?
Right.
3.
There are three, I'm sorry, there are three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hours.
We won't be taking any action after executive session, will we?
We will not,
Adjourn.
we're going to adjourn. So I guess,
Do I get any public comment?
I'm sorry. Oh, yes, we do. Wendy Ricia.
Good evening, everybody.
hi.
Staying here.
Yeah. We didn't hear you.
Thanks for hearing me out. I have been a resident of Pennsylvania for the last 10 years or so. I'm from New York originally. Lived in Charleroi for the last 7 or 8 years. And, well, just recently I have been doing a lot of self-reflection, and I came to ask myself, you know, what is it that I can do as an individual to help better both myself and the community? And
Can I ask what your name is?
my name is Windy, Windy like the wind.
Okay.
Last name is Lysak, Lysiak. And so yeah, I came to ask myself, you know, what is it that I can do to really help better myself and the community, and as just and moral the cause that I could try and come up with. So I came to the conclusion that Charleroi really doesn't have any form of recycling. And, you know, I don't know what I can do to try and persuade or to try and work with the community to try and get the ball moving as far as...
We used to have recycling.
Yeah.
We
We
had
don't
cans and
anymore.
glass. I don't know, it just sort of
I think
went away.
it goes with the population.
That's an expense thing too.
Yeah, when we had the higher population, we had the ability to do the recycling, but our population has dropped considerably, and I think that's why it.
But the garbage hasn't. So, you know, here, I just took some notes. Of course, I missed one. There is, I'm skipping through here. Some of the, you know, really the benefits of what recycling could do is, you know, it would save energy and keep production costs down. Of course, it would reduce our landfills, preserve our resources, protect wildlife, be good for the economy, could help reduce climate problems, reduce our carbon footprint and unhealthy greenhouse gas emissions. And, you know, they're doing so many things with plastic and creating textiles and fabric even out of plastic. And the possibility of, I mean, I'm thinking on a grander scale, but the possibility of creating jobs and just bettering the community and also our carbon footprint on the earth. I mean, what more can we do to help take care of our future children and the earth than to try and reduce our carbon footprint? And so my main thought was, okay, I can start in my backyard, right? So I could try and go around to my neighbors and knock on their door and introduce myself and say, hey, I'm thinking about, you know, trying to start this up. How would you guys feel about, I mean, I know in my community in particular, I live up on Crest. There's about about 6 houses there that we all have a community garbage can, well, not community garbage can, but there's a bunch of garbage cans out there that we all use to just throw our trash away. So I went out there and spray painted the garbage cans and tried to separate and work with my other neighbors to see if they would be interested in separating their garbage. Like, that's the steps that I'm thinking of taking as an individual. And I wanted to know what I could do with your help also.
I like your gumption.
Thanks.
Definitely do. I'm not sure what we, as a community, I mean, if you want to start it in your neighborhood and roll it down and keep moving down the street, see what happens. And I think it's a great idea, but
A lot of
I'm
people
not sure how
probably
much
still-
help we're going to be able to give you.
Yeah.
A lot of people still probably have their bins, I know I do.
Yeah, I have an old one. I can remember when I first moved into that apartment, I was cleaning out the basement and found a big red bin down there and it still has beer cans in it, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, in light of last night's presidential speech, which I thought was really great actually, like, I had this thought in my head, like, I'm gonna write the president about this. Because I think that's a really good cause to get behind.
Good for you.
But you got nothing for me as far as any leads or where I can take, like, trash doesn't pick up. Like our garbage can that comes to pick up our trash, they don't come and pick up that sort of thing. So where, if I were to get my community involved in this, where would be the final destination for that? Where can it be recycled?
Doesn't Washington County have,
That's our closest
One of the
resource.
things I think we might be able to do is talk to our waste haulers, see if we can put a retrieval area in town. I know some communities have done that, but that creates issues too with liability where you're putting the dumpsters for collection. The problem is that the borough's not mandated because of the population to collect recycling. So it's actually not in our waste haulers contract to collect that. There's an additional
It's
cost.
because of the population. What is the minimum population that is required for that then?
It's over 4,000, let's say it's 5,000. Is it 5?
I think the last time, I think the census was like 3,900.
We're under 3,900 now.
So we're talking about 100 people short.
Well, if you can find some folks that like to move into
Yeah,
town.
bring some, yeah, maybe the best thing to do is
Listen,
bring some residents.
I'm gonna make a suggestion to you,
Yeah.
and it's just me.
Sure.
Mark Alterisi is,
Mark Alterisi.
yes, he is the board of trustees, he's on the board of trustees. He owns the Cricket store downtown Charleroi. Go in and ask him. He might be able to set you something up back in the park as far as, you know, the dumpsters, where to collect, where you could put it.
What about the possibility of trying to work with our school system and trying to educate our younger children about recycling and going that route? And a great way
Yeah, that would be something that
You
you
need to
could
go
go
to
to the
school
board meeting.
board for, yeah.
I know the
board.
school has,
Paper.
yeah, they collect paper
They
to
do paper
recycle out
collections.
there on the premises of the campus.
Yeah.
So the school does accept paper from outside sources here?
Yeah, they have a dumpster in that.
I know at one point in time, this was a while ago, the band, as a fundraiser, used to collect cans. I don't know if that's still going on. That's,
Isn't that paper thing still down here? Isn't
No.
there?
No,
Oh, they took it out?
they took that out.
Chamber had
We tried to get it
Okay.
ourselves, but we couldn't.
Okay.
Mark would probably be your best resource to go to.
Thank you for that, I'm gonna look into that. Yeah. Thanks for hearing me out.
Thanks for trying to make the world a better place.
Hey, that's all we can do.
Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Any,
My name's Tom Bradley. I'm a councilman for Glassport Borough, and I'm actually just starting to, gonna spearhead this thing. We all these communities up through the Mon Valley all have CSOs that go to the river, which cross under the tracks. Glassport unfortunately had a situation this past June, and we're still in the process of fixing it. The railroad parks their trains over our pipe collapsed, they dumped 20 loads of stone, clogged the pipe, and now we have an issue with a CSO that's costing $268,000 to repair. We have 6 CSOs in our town. I don't know how many you have, but our borough has 6. We don't have the money to fix it. A lot of these communities don't have the money to fix it. The railroad makes $1 million a day going up and down the tracks. They give our communities nil to nothing. So, in this process that I want to start is try to go from the Mon Valley all the way from Fayette County through Washington County, Allegheny County, Pittsburgh, and past Pittsburgh. See if we can get every community involved, because the railroad is like higher than God. We can't do anything by ourselves against the railroad, just like Port Authority couldn't, and the city of Pittsburgh couldn't when Norfolk Southern had their derailment. City of McKeesport couldn't when they had their derailment. But as a whole, we might be able to go to Congress, go to DC, our representatives, if we all get on a bandwagon together. Because we don't have the money to repair 6 CSOs. And what the railroad came to the borough with was a contract from 1901 that said the borough is responsible. It's 2019,
oh my gosh.
Wow.
and we didn't even have a contract. They had it though. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's just to open up the doors to renegotiate these contracts, because from 1901 till now, the trains are bigger, they haul more material, there's more engines, they're parking them for longer periods of time. I get that our pipe was 100 years old. But when you park a train in 2019 on a pipe that's 100 years old indefinitely, that don't help your situation. And you're running a train in 1901 once or twice a week up the tracks, now you're doing it 3 and 4 times a day, pulling 190 cars loaded. I think the communities need to group together, and I'm gonna start, wintertime it's hard, but I'm gonna try to get all the way up and down the Mon Valley, starting in the spring, to every meeting, leave some info, and see if we can band together with Congressman Doyle and who I know from there, and I don't know many from Washington or Fayette, but we need to get together, you know? It's the only way we're gonna survive. Your population dwindled down, you don't have to recycle. Ours dwindled down, we're at 4,800 people, you know? 4,800 people, 2,500 of them are senior citizens. Not many people move in that are tax paying, you know what I mean? So we don't have the money, nobody does.
We're in the same position anyway.
So that's what I just wanted to speak a little bit about it and try to get it going. So,
Steve,
Good idea. Your concept is always strengthened.
thanks.
I've given us your info.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen this picture in the paper before.
Yes.
Glassport. I have. I watch Glassport closely.
Matt, how many CSOs do we have?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chad. You and your brother are interchangeable, I'm sorry.
No, I'm way bigger.
The authority has 9 CSOs, 6 are in Charleroi.
Are you here for anything? No, the ones behind you. No? Okay.
Here.
They started to come, which is very
We always have a head in the audience, no matter what. All right, if we don't have anything else, we have to go into executive session again. We're not going to vote on anything or afterwards, so if you guys want to go, we're going to adjourn the meeting after the executive session.
Good seeing you.
Two.